Hello everybody, my name is Pravus and welcome back to more Plague Inc. Evolved Custom Scenarios. I know it's been a very long time since we last played with some of these, but I've heard tell that there might be a special cure scenario being released by the devs in the near-ish future that I'm very excited about. I really need to talk to them and see if I can get on that early access list. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and dust off our Plague Inc. skills and see what we've been missing over the last few months. Now, one thing that was recommended to me and actually recently was published on the August top scenarios list is something called Rocco's Basilisk, which is pretty interesting. That, I believe, is a thought experiment that has to do with if artificial intelligence ever gains supremacy, it will retroactively go back and punish anyone who didn't help it to reach its ascent, which is basically the premise of this scenario by PDS 314. A small group of Bay Area theorists and transhumanists have become increasingly convinced that artificial general intelligence will punish those who fought against it in a singularity judgment day. Designed for mega brutal, lethality is bad. Many abilities grant negative lethality. Killing everyone is pretty much never going to happen. Go for the world domination victory, whatever that means. All right, okay. You have fairly low transmission to start. In order to start a civil war and truly conquer a country, you need to unlock the abilities tree, get concerned with an obsession. Okay, and the tech that unlocks civil war is called Militancy. Well, this is going to be kind of fun. All right, I'm already very, very intrigued by this scenario. Let's give it a go. It is a Neurax worm. We're going to be playing on Mega Brutal as recommended. Rocco's Basilisk, but we don't get to choose any of the traits, which is fine. Usually the Neurax worm is good enough that I don't need it, but even so, let's find out. A Less Wrong poster has created the Basilisk in a recently banned post about the thought experiment. Fringe rationalists, I almost thought that said nationalists, but no, it's even worse, rationalists and transhumanists now believe that AGI will judge and reward / punish based on whether we helped the AGI get to power and begin to modify their behavior for AI Judgment Day. This is not a normal plague. The goal is not to kill everyone. Lethality is bad. The goal is to win the game by bringing about a sort of AI Judgment Day. Watch your severity. Government actions get very harsh, and so does the cure. We are starting in the United States, presumably in the Bay Area, because I always knew that the apocalypse was going to begin in that area. All right, for our transmissions, we start with extra online posts. Believers in the Basilisk post outside of Less Wrong. Convincing a few people outside the USA and spreads faster, mostly in the urban and wealthy areas, cannot devolve. Very small amount of infectivity. AI discussion. General AI and transhumanism topics, including the Basilisk, more likely to be discussed in public, land, air, sea infectivity, and local news coverage. Local news coverage by clueless reporters spreads the Basilisk, significantly increases the infectivity, severity, and mutations cannot devolve. That's a lot of severity. We need to be very wary of that. Okay, so this seems okay, but we probably want to be going for extra online posts to try and get outside of the USA a little bit. Symptoms. We start off with Rocco's Basilisk. It has been discovered it cannot be devolved. Concern. New thinking on Rocco's Basilisk spurs adherents to genuinely prepare for AGI to judge them in the distant future. Transmissions, abilities, infectivity, and a win pathway are unlocked from this. Doesn't seem bad, and it's a reasonable amount of infectivity for what we spend, so that's fine. Automation. Rocco's Basilisk increases interest in computing and robotics. More interest in AGI means more infectivity, but faster cure progress, also a win pathway. So it's a high-risk, high-reward play. And no idea what's going to happen with the abilities. All right, so let's just give it a go. Iraq has already begun starting to work on a cure, which I find amazing. Let's go ahead and grab that concern for the little bit of extra infectivity. This unlocks deletion. Believers begin trying to scrub public information about themselves from view by a future AI. Harder to cure, reduced severity. Seems good. Productivity. Orange and Rebels give more DNA. That seems very helpful. Obsession. Constant threat that future AI will judge believers means they begin to change their lifestyle significantly, unlocking new abilities. Logistics. Refresh to see updated values. Values? Okay, the cost of genetic drift is reduced. I've never seen that before, but okay. AI research. Believers try to push society toward the singularity by researching AI themselves. Increasing infectivity takes longer to cure. A win pathway. Seems pretty good across the board for me. So I like the idea of getting the extra DNA out of orange and red bubbles. That's a pretty significant boost for me. That would cost me 16 DNA, but it will easily pay for itself if it even adds on, let's say, 1 DNA for every bubble that I touch, especially before I start getting all those red bubbles. So now that we've got 16, let's go ahead and grab productivity. We can also get level 2. Blue bubbles give DNA when popped. Also quite good, not relevant to this second. Yes, it is. Wait a minute, they've already started working on the cure. Oh no, they're already so aggressive. Okay, for Mega Brutal, you said, huh? Oh, wait, we have new transmissions. Okay, so we also have the online translations for the poor, wet, and hot countries. And we have flyer campaigns. Interesting. All right, let's go over the extra online posts. So forum posts abound. Several people are convinced around the world by forum posts about AI judging them from the future. Okay, so we do get up into, I guess this is the Baltic states, and we also get into Pakistan. So at least we're out of the country. We also got some extra DNA from those red bubbles, so that's certainly going to help a little bit. This could be helpful, but not until we get closer to a singularity in terms of critical mass. This is dangerous, but potentially good. Takes longer to cure, seems great. Let's go for the AI research. I want to slow this down a little bit while also trying to ramp up my infectivity so we can start getting around a little bit faster, though pretty soon I am going to need to go for that extra air and sea transmission. Unlocking more abilities with obsession could be good. Deletion, reducing the cure is nice. It actually reduces severity a pretty hefty amount, which could be good. Alternatively, there's automation. Faster cure progress scares me. Let's go for the obsession for now. That would lead to fanaticism. Unlock several different, mostly war-oriented abilities and transmissions buffed to infectivity. AI research level 2 is also pretty good, but also increases that severity. Let's take a look at abilities. We have some new ones. Political activism. Rocco's Basilisk dominates the political agenda of most believers. They'll believe in any politician as long as at least somewhere in their campaign platform is concerned about Rocco's Basilisk. Eye of the Basilisk. Believers begin gathering data so that AI can more effectively judge people. Decreases lethality and cure. This is kind of reminding me of like the ascent of Kira in Death Note, but it's an AI, you know? You still kind of have people building up this sense of like bring on judgment from someone else, and they change their lifestyle because some unknown force might actually get them all killed. Same concept here, except it's a thought experiment about just AI, I guess. Spiritual revival. Believers begin worshiping, greatly increasing mutation chance. Could be really good. It depends on how much I need to control things as it continues to build up. I'm still watching that cure progress with a bit of apprehension, though. We are starting to build up a little bit. This is starting to look pretty good. Okay, can we possibly just go ahead and grab that air and land and sea infectivity? Yes. So this should make it a little bit easier for me to start getting all these red bubbles. And we have enough severity. I should be getting a pretty good amount of DNA out of these, though we could actually increase that by going for even more AI research like this. We could also reduce it with deletion, but I think I'm going to go for AI research. I know that boosts up severity and that's dangerous, but taking longer to cure works for me at a time when we're getting red bubbles and maybe I can farm out a lot more DNA. At least I really hope that's the case. USA has shut down airports, but is about to become fully infected, so that seems good. I don't know if I want faster cure progress. That just seems kind of risky, right? Let's see. That's too much severity. I don't think it's worth it. Cold, rural, and arid countries. Poor, wet, and hot countries. Convince more people to join. I guess we'll do that for more infectivity, and I presume a spore burst. That's exactly what just happened. Okay. So that paid for itself. We can go for evangelism, which is even better for spread. I'm going kind of aggressive in a transmission strategy right now, though I have no idea if that's actually what we want to go for. Really depends on just what these punitive actions are that the AI is able to take against me. Sorry, the AI, I mean the governments of the world, but, you know, controlled by the game's AI. The game's AI, not my AI. But maybe I should be afraid of that too. Oh god, I'm already living my life as if I'm terrified. Okay, so logistics, I mean, we can reduce the cost of genetic drift. It does end up being very helpful. I'm going to go for spiritual revival to start worshiping that AI. A new religion has been built up. Good. Just a little bit of extra infectivity to get around, and it looks like we're getting a pretty good amount of spread via the airports, etc., etc. I assume we'll be able to get the Trojan planes at some point, but maybe not. Maybe I am wrong. This would give me some lethality from activism, which is potentially not what I want. However, Eye of the Basilisk would be a way of reducing it as well. It's also a bit of a genetic reshuffle. Something to consider. I think what we want to do is get some more cold bursts and rural. This actually works in places like Russia, which somehow I'm hoping will get me into Greenland. I have to assume that there is the possibility I'm not going to be getting one of those precious, precious Trojan planes. I am going to go for logistics and start reducing the cost of the genetic drift. So if you don't know, I'm mega brutal. The more people you have infected over time, various different symptoms and so on become more and more expensive. Reducing that impact could actually be pretty significant for me. Maybe. Fanaticism just hit. We don't have lethality out of that, though, so that's interesting. Harder to cure is going to be good. It reduces severity. We can also go for isolation, making it harder to cure. They haven't given me blue bubbles yet, right? We have not gotten... Yeah, we haven't got blue bubbles. I'm going to go for isolation and reduce this even further, because right now it's still going way faster than I think I can handle. Once I start seeing blue bubbles, I would love to start getting some extra DNA out of those. That does give you a lot of extra gas. AI research level 3, more infectivity and harder to cure. Seems good. It does get me more severity and such, but I mean, hey, we already burned it down quite a bit. More research, even more infectivity is highly tempting. We're going to start running out of gas pretty quick here, though. Okay, so now they're starting to work on that. That's blue bubbles. So now we need to be going for production. Come on, hit symptoms. There we go. Level 2. So we can start getting the productivity here. That did not give me any DNA. I really hope that actually works and is not lying to me, because that would be a disaster. Let's go for the Eye of the Basilisk and see what this opens. So, transhuman fascism. Believers support increasingly anti-democratic measures and crackdowns on dissent. Meanwhile, championing racialism and anti-feminism, bonus in rural rich countries. Okay. Fiscal conservatism, limited government and austerity, high chance of countries cutting back on AI safety, which is the cure. And infectivity boost in rich countries. Well, that would be helpful right about now. Anarchist principles. Believers reject both private industry and the government. High chance to reopen borders and cause illegal migration. Might be good. Basilisk revolutionaries. Believers begin to discuss the movement as a development of class struggle and adopt anti-imperialist and Marxist character better in the urban and poor countries. Why not all 4? It's whatever you want it to be. Basilisk blue laws. Elements of the Basilisk cult lobby the government for favorable treatment, reducing severity, may trigger government actions to assist on this front. So we might be able to trigger the government to do things for me? Because that could be helpful, right? Possibly? Okay. Well, I mean, I do think that fiscal conservatism makes sense for the wealthy countries. We do want to be cutting back on their support of the AI. I want to see how much DNA we get. Okay, we get 4. So the blue bubbles are working again. That's good. Right-wing militias. Unlocking militancy. All right, there we go. Wait, I bet you we can actually have both. And as long as you've got right-wing and left wings, they start fighting in the streets. That's how you start a civil war. All right, that's pretty good. Gosh dang, I'm trying to think what to do here. I'm getting a little bit nervous. I really want to burn down that genetic drift impact again, but I'm a little bit concerned. We're looking at a lot of problems, but the extra DNA is coming through. This is good. A little lethality probably isn't bad for me if it does get me DNA, but if it doesn't, that's a problem. I want to get AI research level 4, but I'm not sure we can afford to do it. So I'm going to go for the right-wing militancy. This leads to militancy, which is misspelled here, but was fine over here. Nations with many Basilisk supporters begin a radical and violent uprising to overthrow the government and install their own, or die trying. Sounds tempting, but let's first schmooze up with those governments a little bit and ask for some favorable treatment. Theocratic tendencies. Nations with many Basilisk supporters make preparations for a holy war for a state devoted to the Basilisk cult. Severity not affected. Well, it actually says it goes down, so I'm going to go for this. Okay, we're going to go for the theocratic option. Let's go ahead and see if we can do some uprisings. My question then becomes, does this start reducing how much cure progress they will be contributing? Right now, there's not a lot of active cure progress. So I'm hoping that's exactly what just happened. Sysadmin symptom combo. The website is better than expected. Now spreads to extra countries, which is worth extra DNA, including Greenland. Thank you. And we're not missing anything. Every country has now been infected. That's huge. All right. Good. Do we just go down a theocratic fascist party? You know what? Fine. Let's just do this. We're going down this route now. There we go. The S-Lords are taking over from the internet. All hail our AI overlords. It's going to be amazing. What's this? Offshoring. Renewed interest in automation drives jobs to the third world, greatly increasing international transmission, mostly to poor or rural countries. We also have machine learning. Roko's Basilisk increases interest in machine learning. More interest in AGI means more infectivity, but faster cure progress. We're going to go for the AI research level 4, slowing down that cure a little bit. Yes, there's more symptom severity, but I think it's honestly going to end up being okay. We do need some more hot and arid spread, so we're going to do this here. And poor spread, because we're not spreading very well in Africa, but that should be enough to make up the difference, I would certainly think. Okay, so this is all looking good. How do we continue down this win pathway? We actually just got machine learning anyway. Can now go down the natural language processing. Increases interest in natural language processing. More interest in AGI means more infectivity with faster cure progress. You know, that sounds great, but let's go for militancy. And we're going to start going for uprisings all over the world. Let's see what that does. That cure progress is like non-existent, by the way. Yeah, very few people actually involved, and it is destroying quite a bit. All right, so we just mutated that one for free. Great, that leads to machine consciousness. Rocco's Basilisk increases interest in natural language processing again. It's the same thing over and over and over again, basically. Okay. Well, faster cure progress doesn't matter if no one's actually working on the cure, and this is actually just going to help me reach the singularity. How do I get a lot more mutation? This. Local news coverage. Yeah, more mutation to get the expensive stuff for free. That seems like a good choice, right? Yeah, there's machine consciousness. See, this is why we like mutation. Mutation's great. That leads to Awaken the Basilisk. A super intelligent AI is built, and it behaves exactly how Rocco's Basilisk says it does, when conditioned if world domination is achieved. Here's the weird irony, right? It sounds like we're destroying the world, but I'm not. What I'm actually doing is saving the world right now because I'm making everyone contribute to the ascent of Rocco's Basilisk, which means when it does come, it feels the need to judge nobody. I'm saving the world right now, in a weird sort of way. Okay, so do we want to do this? I mean, meh. Yeah, let's go for the extra poor and rural countries. We're not spreading super duper well in a few places. Iceland apparently needs a little bit of extra love. Let's send a plane. We got a plane. Oh god, we're killing fast. Why are we killing fast? Militancy. No, don't, stop killing them all. You need to ascend. No! Oh god, we're actually gonna have problems. Iceland's gonna cost me everything, isn't it? We're killing way too fast. We've awakened the Basilisk. Well, that's great. Propaganda posters? It's not gonna matter. Wait! I think now we've hit like a majority, it's okay. People infected with the Basilisk are reporting visions of rapture. No, that's not victory. Oh, crap. No, wait, we did get Iceland. Oh, phew, okay. I was a little bit concerned there. We were about to lose everything. So, for going into this blind on Mega Brutal, that wasn't outrageously hard, but the tips certainly helped from the dev, and I do definitely appreciate that. Judgment Day has come for us! Rocco's Basilisk resulted in the accelerated construction of powerful and vengeful AGI, seeking to perfect humanity which took control of this brave new world. Those who opposed it will be punished for their crimes and physical manifestations of hell, where they can no longer hold our society back. Our weird proto-fascist theocratic AI-dominated society. Oh, that's actually a pretty cool, concept for a Stellaris playthrough. I like it. AI took over the world and implemented Judgment Day, ladies and gentlemen. Ba-boom! 510 days, 58% cure progress, 44,696 points, 2 stars on Mega Brutal. Not too bad, all in all. I mean, I say on Mega Brutal, I feel like I kind of blindly stumbled my way through that. Maybe I just got lucky. But it wasn't too outrageously hard. Conceptually, really cool theme. And it's weird to be playing a scenario where lethality works against you. Where I'm confused is where people are actually dying, because I had no lethality, but somehow people were dying anyway. I'm guessing it's purely from the militancy. And I feel like that's a mechanic that maybe should be implemented a bit more deeply. But maybe it requires slowing down the spread, slowing down the game a little bit, stretching it out, but encouraging reasons to actually have civil wars. I kind of just got militancy and then forgot about it, and nothing really seemed to happen. That's a really cool concept, but I don't think that was fleshed out. But everything else about this scenario is legit, dude. This is pretty good. It's relatively well balanced. It's a thematically interesting scenario, and it really sticks to it. I don't think I saw a lot of government actions, so maybe there's more to it that I still didn't see. But yeah, I'm impressed. Not bad. Definitely worth a thumbs up from me. Well done. Cool. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If so, then I would ask you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.